Hello everyone, it's Dom Sacco here from Esports News UK. It's NLC Finals Weekend, the Winter LAN, here at Confetti X in Nottingham, and I'm joined by two people from Leagues Media, the tournament organisers of the NLC. I'm delighted to be joined here. It's fantastic to be here with Frederik and Christian from Leagues Media. Thanks for joining me, guys.
Thank you.
First of all, tell us a little bit about your roles at Leagues Media and what you do.
I'm Christian. I'm the CEO of Leagues Media, normally head of strategic and economics.
Okay.
Yeah, and I'm Frederik, the product manager of the NLC. But I guess my role is a bit more. I'm in a bit of everything, but technically it's the product manager. But yeah.
Great stuff. So tell us a bit about running the NLC and how you got into organising this tournament, because we see the players, we see the fantastic broadcast you have. What's it like behind the scenes in your day-to-day?
So I think it's changed quite a lot from when we first got in under Freaks, when they reached out to us about working together with us. So we did that for the entirety of 2023.
And Freaks were the previous tournament organisers of the NLC.
Yes, exactly. Doing that, we were all... It was mostly me and Vavat, another guy we were working with, that handled most of it. So it was I was involved very much in the day-to-day business and mainly getting that stable. But as we've gotten further into this project, 2024 mainly, we've started to look at how can we actually grow it in a more sustainable way. I think there are a lot of negative sentiments about the NLC because of how it's been run previously. And our main job, I think, is getting that confidence back in the NLC. And I think the way we see that is with stability. Because so far, we've seen that a tournament organizer has either created the NLC or taken over the NLC, and then there's been a whole lot of changes. And then a new organizer comes in after 1.5 years, and we have the same changes.
Yeah.
Yes, and every single time you lose teams, you lose talent, you lose players that don't get transferred into the new system. So I think it's very important for us to keep the continuity, and there will be changes, but we'll try to make it as inclusive as possible to make everyone feel confident in the product and feel that it's a stable place to be.
Yeah, that's a great answer. Is there anything else you want to add, Christian? No, you covered that really well. So you talked about stability and the long term, and I think you have gained the trust of the community again. From a journalist perspective, I've seen that. Your teams are really engaged, fans, there's a lot of excitement. Of course, it helps when the likes of Cadril and other big streamers get involved. Maybe tell us a bit about that. How have you managed these big personalities coming in? What's that been like, going from maybe some of the smaller grassroots teams to the likes of the Ruddy Sack with I Will Dominate, and Nord getting bigger streamers and bigger players involved, and Los Ratones?
So I think from behind the scenes, there's a lot of nervousness about all of the new eyeballs coming to the NLC. Can we live up to the expectations? Make sure that it's a product that they feel is worth watching and engaging with. So I think that has been our main focus, to kind of rush to meet those expectations. And I think some of the influencers that have come in, for example, I Will Dominate and Yamato from, what's it called?
The Ruddy Sack.
Yeah, the Ruddy Sack. And Nord has also been pulling some very interesting people. So from those two teams that have been in the league, I know that they have been toying with that idea for a long while. But this, I guess this might have been the thing that incentivized them to go full in on it. Yeah, so I think everyone is just really excited, but also nervous about the responsibility that we now have. And if we mess up, everyone's going to see it.
And the views have been great. I think we all expected with Cadril coming in, the views would jump up. I think I've seen that, it rose by whatever percentage it was, 1,000% or something in that first week. And then now we look at other leagues out there. Riot Games obviously has a lot of other fantastic leagues out there at tier 1, tier 2, different tiers. But I think I've seen that, the peak viewership so far in the NLC has actually been higher than the LTA in the Americas. How does that make you feel?
It's absolutely crazy to start seeing our name on the same list as the LC without having to scroll like 20 pages. So that's pretty crazy. But so I will say, while we are very happy about the current situation, our focus is very much how do we use this momentum to solidify our position. So before we have a very clear, before we've done that, I wouldn't say I'm really happy. I'm excited about the possibilities, but also very keenly aware of it's something, if we don't do anything, we might go back, we might slide back to where we were, right? So we need to use the momentum we have to build.
Yeah, understood. And, you know, before we started recording this interview, we were talking about brands. You've got a Rosie, Kit Kat, and so on with the NLC. And I think with this increase in viewership now, will you be looking to engage with more brands in the future? Maybe a question for you, Christian.
Yeah, hopefully we will. But also, it's also become more difficult because right now we are looking into a global awareness instead of a Nordic awareness. So we also hit that challenge, right, when we got these streamers in. But yeah, it's quite positive. We have good dialogues with great brands out there. So hopefully we'll show you some more soon.
Fantastic. And on the future, I know you said about building momentum and so on. You made an announcement late last year about the future of the NLC 2025 and 2026 roadmap, and in there you had, I think, a roadshow events planned for 2026. I wasn't personally expecting a great event like this in the UK so soon, and it's fantastic to have it. Obviously, I understand there are other countries amongst the UK and Nordics, and they'll get to have their events, I'm sure, too. But what can we expect in the future, maybe looking towards 2026 for NLC and any other products you have?
I think even though the segment in the format announcer was quite short, announcing the roadshows, I think our, not purpose, but what we really want to focus on is the grassroots and how do we build that in a sustainable way. I think there's unfortunately a tendency in the ELs to the other European regional leagues to not focus that much on the groundwork. But I see that as a huge mistake, because how will you ever make your league sustainable if the player base keeps growing older without any new talent and new players coming up? And similarly, your viewer base will also shrink if you don't have new people getting interested in it. So we really want to solidify a strong grassroots networks to build the future of the NLC, right? And one way we see of doing that is through active local community events like the event here at Nottingham, right? So we want there to be frequent possibilities for people to attend this and get to know and get to interact with people in the community. And so we will be focusing a lot more on Nordic and UK and Ireland and Malta initiatives to make sure that we actually have a stronger connection to the community that is watching the games by giving them these opportunities. But yeah, of course, it will take time to build up to this. So this is the kickstart, but it won't be something that happens from one day to the other. We will need time to build it.
Understood. And I should have said as well, it's UK, Nordics, and Ireland, and Malta as well. And I'm half Maltese, so I feel bad that, you know, I know we have a Maltese organisation in the lower tiers and the UK
right.
league, so I'd like to see them get promoted maybe in the future. And on that, talking about the importance of grassroots, I'm really glad you've said that, and thank you, because I've always been a big believer in grassroots and the importance of that, and covering all tiers, not just the top tier and the higher tiers. So you obviously have these national leagues sitting below the NLC. How do you work with them? How do you integrate with them? In the UK, we obviously have the UK EL, but you have other leagues as well, as Swedish League and so on.
Yeah, so right now we have like a Discord where I think, from what I understand, this was new compared to how Freaks and DreamHack did it. DreamHack kind of did it, but it was split up between the UK portion with DreamHack and then the Talia portion with, the Nordic countries, right? So the first thing we really did when we took over was to try to gather all of these national tournament organizers in one place and then try to work on clear communication. Because I think that has been one of the flaws, like from a tournament organizer's perspective. You don't necessarily have to have all the answers, but you need to communicate that clearly. So first we gathered all of the tournament organizers, and then we just take it as it comes. Like we discuss, we want to do this, how does that fit in with you? And then maybe we have something we think is really great, and then it just doesn't work. And I think that, and I've changed my mind a bit on this, but I think that we need, for things to grow, we need to be able to give more freedom to the national leagues so they can display the culture of the national league. Like UK has a very distinct culture, and it's very there's a strong sports culture, and I think it's very necessary to promote that if we want to have a league that can expand into the future, and the UK league standing on its own leg along with all of the Nordic leagues. So I think we need to give freedom and not just say it has to be this way, but try to work with them so they can express their country in their own way.
Yeah, that identity is really important, I think, because that was a criticism of this, one criticism of the NLC in the past before you came on board as tournament organisers, was that when the UK was bridged with the Nordics, we lost a little bit of our identity in the progress. But I think in the process, but I think with teams like the Ruddy Sack and Bulldog Esports, we've got that sort of UK spirit back again, and Verdun and others. So that's nice to see. And, you know, I'm a big fan of events like this as well. Maybe you could tell us a bit, Christian, good to hear your opinion as well, how this event has gone and has it met up to expectations? Obviously, we're recording this ahead of the grand final with Los Ratones, but what's it been like having this first event, you know, in for 2025?
As you mentioned, it's hard to tell. We still have a day to go, but I think it, to be honest, it has been stressful. It was a very fast decision from our side. But it's so nice to see it live. It's nice to gather the people around it. It's nice to see all the Discord faces. I think many of the people here really wants to see people in person as well. So it's nice to see that could finally happen. And I also think it motivates everyone to keep these events going and make them even bigger.
Yeah, 100%. And shout out as well to Nottingham Trent University for this Confetti studio. It's great. I've been saying to them for years, we need to get some even bigger teams here, and the fact that we have the likes of Nord, Los Ratones, etc. It's great to see that. Now there are other parts of, and I will say on the events as well, just being cheeky from my side, if you do events in the Nordics and elsewhere and you want watch parties in the UK, I'm very happy to do them with Esports News UK, or team up with the Ruddy Sack or whoever else, or attend their events and promote it. You know, I want to support what you're doing as well. But yeah, please tell us maybe about the other parts of, because you have Leagues Media, but there may be people watching this thinking, hang on, weren't they Leagues GG before? Or maybe you can explain to them what's happened there. Yeah,
but maybe we should go a step back, because originally we founded the Danish League, and that's where the Leagues GG came from originally. Brilliant. So we created a Danish league back in 2017, and we kind of just took it from there, expanded, and then we got the deal with Telia back then, and we took over some of the other Nordics country as well. So that's where Leagues GG was founded, and that was because we ourselves needed a tool for handling these tournaments and get the teams in and set the players for the next match and so on. So that was where Leagues GG originated.
Okay, and so now you have Leagues Media. From what I understand, Leagues GG is now a separate sort of like tournament platform, aside from these products you have like the NLC.
Yeah. Hopefully we will be able to have everything on Leagues GG at some point. Also all these things, ticket sales, etc. We hope that Leagues GG will facilitate the entire ecosystem as well. So it will be the place to go when you need to find your next tournament to follow or to watch the NLC at some point.
Yeah, fantastic. And what's next for you guys? I know you've mentioned 2026, but what sort of long-term goals do you have? Do you want to branch out? Are we going to see other tournaments and things from you in the future, maybe?
I cannot tell right now. For now, we will focus on Riot Games title. So we also look very much into Valorant. Also have that on a national level as well, working with the other national organizers there as well. So, but at some point, yeah, we hope that Leagues GG will become this LinkedIn for gamers, kind of. So eventually it will be everything, and it will hopefully be the place to go when you need a gaming partner, or you need a team, or need to participate in some sort of tournament. You want to expand?
I do.
Go for it.
Just from a NLC perspective, right, to get that as well. I can't yet say what it is, but I did mention that we are very much looking toward building momentum, and we are looking into how can we cooperate with the current teams we have in our league to make it something that is quite unique, not only from an EL standpoint, but I guess esports and leagues esports in general. That's kind of the perspective we have. We want to be unique from the others, and hopefully you'll see soon what we mean by that.
Oh, that's interesting. I'm excited. You've got me primed for the future. Is there anything else you guys would like to add? I think it's been a really nice chat about Leagues Media. Anything I might have missed, or any shout outs or anything?
I don't think I have anything, but I just want to thank Confetti, Nottingham University. They've been amazing to work with. I think the broadcast looks amazing. They've been great guys all around. Yeah, so thanks to them.
Yeah, and thank you for this interview as well. So hopefully we can come out and tell people what the actual plan is here.
Yeah, 100%. Well, thanks so much, guys, and thanks everyone for watching. Please stay tuned for more from Esports News UK, and I have to say a big thank you to Leagues Media as well. I think I'm not just saying this, but I've followed the UK esports League of Legends scene for a long time, and from the early days of ESL UK, which no longer exists, up until now, I say ESL UK, you guys have been one of the most, easiest to work with, and you understand journalism, so thank you from my perspective as well, and I wish you all the best in the future, and I can't wait to see what's next.
Thank you so much.
Thanks.